Self-discipline is an everyday issue that we as a whole face day to day, and dominating it tends to be precarious. Whether it is keeping away from that bread kitchen with the awesome donuts or ensuring that you rise and shine right on time to crush in that exercise, we have all confronted these difficulties in our own lives. We as a whole need to practice self-restraint to flourish. Self-control is the capacity for individuals to conquer their inclinations and shortcomings. It is the capacity to conquer allurement and persist even notwithstanding numerous helpful hindrances. Individuals practice it generally speaking in their lives, however they probably won't have a mastery of it presently. It is frequently alluded to as poise, discipline, or command over one's desires. We as a whole have our difficulties, yet we need to comprehend that these shortcomings can keep us down. Whether it is an absence of self-control in general or undeniable circumstances, we must perceive where we battle. This is the initial step to dominating self-control. After this, we must be willing and tolerating of the change. It is one thing to understand what we really want to deal with, yet it is one more method for developing that thing. Dealing with dominating self-control isn't just about making new schedules or propensities, however, about guidelines. Individuals need to perceive how they adjust to their new changes and whether they can practice solid discretion. This is best finished as reflection. Investigating how we answer circumstances and potential triggers assists individuals with seeing where they may be tested. It's rare simple to relinquish our negative behavior patterns. Regardless of what you decide to do without and work on, remunerating yourself when you in all actuality do well is fundamental. On the off chance that you are going to the rec center, don't hesitate for even a moment to indulge yourself with a night out with companions. Assuming that you are dealing with your funds, don't be terrified to spend some additional cash on a little prize like that piece of cake at your #1 pastry kitchen. As individuals, we like to be compensated, as senseless as that could sound to certain individuals. This is perhaps of the main thing that you can accomplish to deal with your restraint. The best counsel is dependably to keep away from triggers if possible. Any enticement that you could experience could be a test or minor inability to you initially. In any case, triggers are not generally terrible to test to check whether you have managed a specific test of yours. Solely after your delayed achievement is it an extraordinary thought to perceive how far you have come. If not, you may be disheartened with your response. A big part of the fight with poise is having a decent outlook on it and empowering yourself. All things considered, no other person is accomplishing the work however you. Don't hesitate for even a moment to support yourself and give yourself somewhat more to feel better about. Whether it is remaining before the mirror saying assertions or siphoning yourself up when you realize you have worked really hard, work on your mentality. It will just expand your certainty and assist you with resting easier thinking about yourself. Clinicians will all concur that the initial couple of seconds of a difficult errand are by and large the most troublesome. As Kimmy Schmidt says in Solid Kimmy Schmidt, you can do anything for 10 seconds. Help yourself by being empowering and not surrendering in the initial 10 seconds. It is so crucial to helping you with conquering your difficulties. To get past anything, center around approaching it slowly and carefully, 10 seconds. Regardless of to what lengths you will go for to follow through with something, you won't have any desire to do it except if you feel it is fulfilling. You need to feel a sense of urgency to follow through with something or think that it is pursuing a greater objective. For instance, you will need to go to the exercise center more assuming you have that two-piece in your storeroom ready to be worn. Find something you need to pursue and accomplish. Whether purchasing new dress or setting aside the cash to travel globally, you are bound to need to accomplish something assuming that you profoundly want the outcome. With these tips, you will probably dominate your self-restraint right away. In any case, there are such countless alternate ways of utilizing your discretion, like inside the house. Here are tips to be more useful while you're at home. Okay, the solace of home. While you could feel entirely fine relaxing around in your sweats the entire day, you certainly can view ways as useful while being agreeable. One of the most mind-blowing ways is by making schedules. Making ready to bed at generally a similar time is an extraordinary beginning. Furthermore, you can likewise include specific assignments you do in the first part of the day and the evening. Perhaps you need to walk the canine in the first part of the day. Anyway, You have a lot of ways of making schedules that will assist you with carving out opportunity to accomplish significant work. On the off chance that you telecommute, you could know the battle. Your bed is comfortable yet working and it makes it harder for you to rest around evening time. As far as some might be concerned, it's anything but an issue, however for other people, it is an issue. Like we have the kitchen for cooking and the room for resting, we can have separate work and different assignments. It has been demonstrated to assist with efficiency and assist individuals with achieving undertakings all the more effectively. Whether it is heating up or sewing, you ought to constantly set to the side time for the things you love. Indeed, even from home, you can make time for yourself. It is fundamental to do this, as it assists you with unwinding and track down balance. Part of dominating your self-restraint is having the option to possess energy for work and time for recreation. Life is about equilibrium, and there's not a great explanation for why you ought to express farewell to what you are enthusiastic about. It can assist you with climbing to the next level. At any point do you experience difficulty recalling precisely the very thing you need to do? Indeed, with records, you don't need to stress over absent-mindedness. Creating records can assist you with keeping up with efficiency and become more self-trained. One of the most amazing ways of utilizing records is prior to going to bed. You can utilize a couple of moments around evening time to record what you want to complete the following day so that when you awaken, you can't be sure about. You will have a rundown with all that generally down on paper. Nobody at any point said you need to make not insignificant arrangements of what you need to achieve. The most effective way to begin being more useful at home is by picking no less than 3 things that you need to wrap up during your day. Whether it is doing the dishes or getting your office tidied up, it merits picking basic errands that you can recollect and record on paper. Assuming you start with more modest positions, you will be bound to complete your tasks and happy-go-lucky about your advancement. We as a whole know somebody who has all the earmarks of being a superwoman. They appear to finish everything much more efficiently than it takes us. The hoodlum of happiness is correlation. To be content and glad for yourself, you ought to quit contrasting yourself with others. Center around what you have done and what you have been dealing with. Regardless of what every other person is doing, you ought to have an extraordinary outlook on everything on self-control you have been finishing as of late. Assuming you battle to finish stuff quickly, one of the most incredible ways of keeping away from this issue is by making plans. Indeed, even while at home, you can view programs as extraordinarily supportive to your general objectives. On the off chance that you have a family too, timetables can assist you with all remaining focused. Finishing tasks and ensuring there is an ideal opportunity to do it is all practical on the off chance that you adhere to an arrangement. With efficiency and self-control, it is crucial to realize that it is an everyday undertaking. You can't be useful for one day a month and anticipate that yourself should turn into a self-restraint ace unexpectedly. In the event that you are thinking about how to dominate self-restraint, you need to begin working day to day. It is a day-to-day challenge, and you can keep on having everyday successes that assist you with seeing your dominance of self-control. Regardless of where you are in your excursion, everybody shares one thing. Practically speaking, we as a whole have similar 24-hour days. Ideally, you discovered a portion of these tips to help you and your excursion to a more useful life. It all begins with taking it step by step, permitting yourself the opportunity to develop and advance over the long haul on. Making more modest propensities, at the outset, can assist you with acquiring little wins that will give you the certainty to handle more significant difficulties to your restraint.